Today I'm here in an area of Dubai that not many people know about, that is, I think, quite underrated for a specific group of people. You might not even think that I'm in Dubai right now. You might think I'm in Southeast Asia or something, but no, this is actually Dubai, and this is an area called Sobha Hartland. It is a community built by Sobha that is quite close to downtown, I believe about 15 minutes away. That is something that I think a lot of people should consider. I've been staying here now for the past week to kind of test it out, and I also went to look at properties in this area. So in this video I wanted to give my thoughts about this area. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Is there a reason why no one knows about it? Or is it perhaps a hidden gem? So let's talk about it. Okay, so I stayed in the area for a total of 10 days, and I now have in front of me a couple of pros and cons of what I thought about living in Sobha Hartland myself. And then at the end I will tell you who I think this area is right for, because there's a couple of categories who I would definitely recommend this area for, and also some people who I would definitely not recommend it for. And I will also tell you whether I myself am moving to this area, and will also give a tour of the place where I stayed in this area, and also at the very end talk a little bit about the investment side of things, like so would I recommend buying property here for investment, and what are the things to consider there. But first, a bit of an overview of this area. So what is Sobha Hartland? So it's a community in MBR City, very close to downtown, built entirely by Sobha Realty, which is one of the most reputable developers in Dubai, and they are very known for their high build quality. That's actually one of the reasons why I initially started looking into this area, because I lived in a lot of buildings that didn't have the best build quality, so I wanted to make sure that the building where I actually live has good build quality, and Sobha tends to provide very consistent high quality there. It's a very family oriented area. There's a lot of nice parks, nice like kids play areas, things like that, where if you have a family or you have pets or something like that, you could take them for walks, like go play, something like that. And also they have a very good international school in this area called Heartland International School, so that might be also very good to know for the families out there. The delivery of this area started in 2015, and now in 2025 it seems to be almost finished. There's still a couple of buildings that they are building here, and there is still some construction around, but it's pretty much a finished community at this point. And a great feature about this community as well is that it will be a waterfront community. Now you can't see any water there right now because that part is not actually finished, but here in one of the property viewings that we did, you can see this kind of construction site over there. That is actually going to be a water canal in the future. I don't know when it's going to be finished, but once it is, it's again going to just make the vibe of this area much nicer, and the view as well from apartments like this one, where you are going to have that view. But right now, if you live there, obviously you would just be looking at a construction site. So what are the pros? So the first pro is that it's a very like nice homey vibe in this area. They've definitely built a very nice community here where it feels like home. Like I could definitely live in this area, a lot of greenery around, nice parks. It has like a consistent vibe, obviously because it's entirely built by Sobha. There are some buildings also by the developer Ellington, which is also a super high quality developer. Overall, the feeling of the community is very, very good in my opinion. Depending on where you're staying, you can also get views of downtown in the distance, like from this building where we were staying. So this is where I've been staying for the past couple of days. A very small but cozy apartment. We have this little like study area. Unfortunately, they had this double bed here, so I couldn't really use it as an office or anything. And then this living room slash kitchen area, very, very small. If I lived in this area, I would definitely live in a bigger space, but for like a week or so that we stayed here, it was fine. This living room, and have a pretty nice view all the way into downtown over there. So this gives you an idea of the distance from this area to downtown. By car it takes like 15 minutes or something like that. Nice decor, and over there we have a balcony. And then going here, we have the bathroom area in here. There's a little closet in here. In here we have the bedroom with also the access to this balcony. And it feels like a very livable area in my opinion. It also has everything you need. It has grocery stores, it has some cafes, it has a Noon Minutes warehouse, which is the service where you can order groceries, and it actually happened to be right next to the building where we were living. So we were literally able to get groceries delivered in like 7 minutes, which was just absolutely crazy. And of course, the big pro is that the buildings are generally going to be very, very high quality over here. And also a big pro is, like I said, that it's pet and family friendly, has an international school, lots of nice parks, play areas, things like that. And obviously it's going to be very safe because it is a gated community as well. Never seen this before. They have even this like little table football just over here in the park. This is pretty interesting. And if you're an outdoor workout kind of person, they also have like an outdoor mini gym in here. I think they have a couple of these in the parks here. Not right now in August, I wouldn't do that, but in winter could be pretty reasonable. It's generally a very nice vibe. Like if you think, oh, Dubai doesn't have greenery, you should definitely check out this area. A lot of greenery in here, and also over there you can see the villas. I wish I could afford one of those villas one day perhaps. And then over on this side we have the apartment side of things. So what are the cons of Sobha Hartland? Well, the first big con is that while the community is nice, it's not very big. And while it has kind of everything you need, like I mentioned, in terms of like grocery stores and stuff, it doesn't have that many options. Like it doesn't have the biggest grocery stores. It doesn't really have that many restaurant options. So as someone who does like to go out to eat quite often, the options there were quite limited. So if you wanted to go and have dinner outside or something, or even breakfast outside, you'd probably be driving to downtown like 15 minutes. Obviously not the biggest deal in the world, but that is just something that you should keep in mind. Now, maybe they are adding more stuff there in the future, but for now, the options in terms of like dining out and obviously any activities, like they pretty much don't have any. The options are quite limited. The other con is that while it is close to downtown, like distance-wise, the roads going out of this area are designed like really badly. When you want to go to downtown, like it looks very close on the map, but it actually still takes like 15 to 20 minutes, because when you exit the community, you need to like turn right, whereas downtown will be left, and then you need to like go around and around again, and then finally you get to the right direction and you get to downtown. So if you're going to downtown a lot, like you'll start to probably annoy you after a while that you have to like do this U-turn and stuff. The other thing with the roads is that the entrance to the area is like very easy to miss, and there's still a lot of constructions there. So a lot of roads are blocked. So we found when we first went there with our taxi, they happened to miss like the one entrance that they have into this area, and then it ended up taking like literally 20 to 30 minutes extra just for us to get to our location, because then they tried to take a detour, but it was blocked by construction, so we had to go back, and the taxi ride ended up costing like double of what it was supposed to cost. So that might happen to you a few times if you're getting taxis there. So you want to always like tell the taxi like, okay, hey, here is the entrance, to make sure that they don't miss it. Obviously the con as well is that it doesn't have public transport, and there is no mall, although they are building the Sobha Mall, which has been announced. I'm not sure they have any delivery date for it yet, but it's supposed to be a 210 million dirham project built in the Sobha Hartland community. So who would I recommend this area to, and who would I not recommend this area to? Well, I would recommend to long-term residents, and especially families who want this like nice cozy vibe. They want to have the school close by, they want to have lots of parks and things like that, and who don't really want to go out and like live like a flashy lifestyle or something like that. You're just like mostly living at home. You want like a nice community with nice build quality, everything like that. I would not recommend it to new residents, or like perhaps young people who want to really experience a lot of stuff, who want to go out for dinners, who want to go to beach clubs, like all this kind of stuff. Now, from an investment standpoint, what would I say? Well, there's a couple of things that my real estate agent highlighted to me. By the way, if you're looking to buy real estate here in Dubai, you can book a call down below to work with the exact same agent that I work with. There's a lot of bad agents in Dubai. You definitely don't want to end up working with a terrible agent. I have a really excellent agent who did a really good job, and at this point I have actually signed on my first apartment here in Dubai with his help. So if you want to work with the same people that I'm working with, you can book a free discovery call with my agent down below in the description, where you can discuss, tell your needs, and then you can move from there if you are interested, or you can scan this QR code right here to speak to them directly on WhatsApp for an even faster response. So what my agent highlighted to me about this area is that, first of all, because it's not one of the main areas, and because people don't really know about it that much, if you're looking to buy a property and put it on Airbnb or something like that, you're probably not going to get that many bookings. Our agent told us that they had a client who had an Airbnb unit in Sobha Hartland, but they had to like literally take it off the market because they were not getting any bookings in Sobha Hartland, because it's not an area where tourists are usually going to go to. The other thing to consider is that next to Sobha Hartland, they're actually building Sobha Hartland 2, which is going to be bigger and most likely even better than Sobha Hartland 1. which in the long run could put downward pressure on the prices of Sobha Hartland 1, because now there's going to be this new community which is just bigger and better, so everyone's just rather going to buy there, right? So there's also something to consider. So am I going to move to Sobha Hartland? Well, I probably won't, but I definitely could. Like, I like this area. It's a very nice community. There's just other areas that I would say I like even more, and certainly you can get some very good value here if you are looking to get a very nice unit for a very good price. But I would just say that some of the other areas that I've seen units in, like Creek Harbor, even downtown, I would pretty rather, but certainly if you were a family or something like that and you want to get very good value, this is something that you should definitely look into, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will see you in the next video.